The moon only comes out at night. That was what the people of Ephraim in Delta State always said. But the day the moon came out in the middle of the afternoon, every man, woman, and child in the village knew that something terrible had begun. And it all started with a little boy named TEJIRI. Once upon a time, in Ephraim Delta State, there was a village square called Afieki. Afieki was where the king sat. Afieki was where the elders settled quarrels. Afieki was where festivals were held. And Afieki was where the people would one day gather to witness the child of destiny. Long ago, the elders spoke of an ancient prophecy. They said that after 200 years, a special child would be born, a child who would unite the villages, a child who would stop a war before it destroyed everyone. The prophecy named the villages Ephraim, Agbaru, Ugeli, and Ekpan. But as the years passed, the prophecy was forgotten. The villages began to fight. They fought over land. They fought over streams. They fought over palm trees, fishing ponds, and old family borders. By the time TEJIRI was born, everybody had forgotten that the villages were once like brothers. That night TEJIRI came into the world. His mother screamed through the rain. The wind shook the roof. Their small hut shook. The old women outside prayed and whispered. Then suddenly, just before dawn, the rain stopped. The clouds opened, and a full moon appeared above the house. The old women fell silent. This child is not ordinary, one of them whispered. As TEJIRI grew, strange things followed him. Whenever he cried, the moon appeared. Whenever he laughed, the sun seemed brighter. Whenever he became angry, dogs howled and birds flew from the trees. By the age of 5, people no longer called him TEJIRI. They called him the son of the moon. One morning, TEJIRI's mother tied her wrapper and held his hand. Come, she said, we are going to the market. Money was tight in the house. She only had enough to buy salt, gari, and a little dried fish. As they walked towards Afieki, TEJIRI suddenly stopped. He looked up at the sky. Mama, he said quietly, they are coming. His mother laughed. Who is coming? But TEJIRI did not answer. When they reached Afieki, the village square was already full. The king sat in the middle, on his carved chair, wearing a heavy crown. In one hand, he held a small staff. Around him stood the elders. Beside him stood the village diviner. The diviner held a long carved staff. His face was painted with white and red chalk. Deep marks crossed his cheeks. The people of Ephraim stood on one side. On the other side stood men and youths from Agbaru, from Ugeli, and from Ekpan. The youths were angry. Some pointed, some shouted, some carried sticks and cutlasses. The king raised his hand. Silence. And slowly the shouting stopped. The youths of Ephraim crossed into the sacred forest near Ekpan, the king said. They entered lands that did not belong to them. Now Agbaru, Ugeli, and Ekpan want war. The crowd exploded. War! They must pay! We will not forgive them. Then suddenly, TEJIRI stepped into the middle of Afieki. His mother grabbed him. TEJIRI, come back! But before she could pull him away, the sky grew dark. Everybody looked up. It was still afternoon. But above them, shining in the bright star, was the moon. A cold wind passed through Afieki. The youths fell silent. The elders stepped back. The diviner dropped his staff. Then TEJIRI spoke, but his voice no longer sounded like the voice of a child. They opened the old paths, he said. The king stood up. The diviner began to shake. Say it again, the old man whispered. They opened the old paths beneath the sacred hill. The diviner fell to his knees. Those are the words of the prophecy, he said. The people stared. The old man looked at the king. The prophecy did not speak of a child, he said. It said the child would appear when the old paths beneath the sacred hill was opened.